Bali is a beautifully decorated lie. Most people come here searching for an escape. They look for the postcard. They seek out the sun-bleached beaches, the infinity pools hanging over pristine green valleys, and the carefully curated luxury that promises a temporary peace. But if you only see the resorts and the sand, you are completely blind to what actually makes this island exist. In fact, you are walking through a theater, completely unaware of the ancient, complex, and sometimes terrifying machinery running behind the curtains. Once you understand what is truly happening beneath the surface, the illusion of this tropical paradise begins to shatter. It is replaced by something far more profound, far more volatile, and infinitely more beautiful than any travel brochure could ever capture. To understand Bali, you must first accept that it does not follow the rules of the rest of the world. It is an island built on an invisible, biological edge. Imagine standing on the easternmost tip of the island, looking out across the deep blue water of the Lombok Strait. Just 35 kilometers away lies the neighboring island of Lombok. To the naked eye, the water seems like a simple, peaceful channel. But biologically, this narrow gap is a massive, prehistoric wall. It is called the Wallace Line. Discovered by the British naturalist Alfred Russel Wallace in the 19th century, this line represents one of the most abrupt ecological divides on Earth. To the west of this line, on Bali, the animal kingdom belongs entirely to Asia. This was once the very edge of the Asian continental shelf, connected to Java, Sumatra, and mainland Asia, during the ice ages when sea levels were over 100 meters lower than they are today. Because of this, Bali became home to Asian wildlife, monkeys, large cats, and thick, quiet forests. But step across that 35-kilometer strait to Lombok, and Asia completely vanishes. Suddenly, you are in a different world. There are no monkeys. There are no large Asian mammals. Instead, you find marsupials, parrots, and birds that evolved in isolation closer to Australia. The Lombok Strait is so incredibly deep that even when the ice ages drained the oceans and connected Bali to the mainland, Lombok remained completely isolated, separated by a deep underwater trench that currents could not bridge. This deep water barrier has kept two completely different evolutionary paths separated for 50 million years. Bali sits directly on this threshold. It is the absolute end of the Asian continent. But this biological isolation has created a strange, unnatural silence. You will not find large, roaring predators or massive herds of elephants roaming the forests here today. The island's wildlife feels strangely quiet, almost perfectly suspended. But this fragile quiet is not a peaceful accident. It is a state of survival carved out of constant, volatile danger. Bali does not rest on stable ground. It lies directly on the Pacific Ring of Fire, one of the most active and dangerous volcanic zones on our planet. Underneath this quiet paradise, massive tectonic plates are constantly grinding against each other, building intense pressure and reshaping the land. The very mountains that define the island's skyline are active volcanic giants, capable of immense destruction. Yet, it is this exact threat of death that makes life on the island possible. The constant volcanic eruptions over thousands of years have blanketed the island in thick, dark ash. This ash created an incredibly fertile soil, a soil so rich in nutrients that farmers can harvest rice multiple times a year, a feat that is practically impossible in most parts of the world. But the miracle of this harvest is not just a gift of the earth. It is the result of a revolutionary human system that has defied modern corporate logic for over 1,000 years. Instead of individual landowners competing for resources, the islanders manage their fields through a cooperative system called subak. This is not a government agency. It is a deeply spiritual network of water management that dates back to the 9th century. Water is not treated as a commodity to be bought and sold. It is viewed as a sacred, divine gift that belongs to everyone and must be shared with absolute fairness. The water originates in the high, sacred mountain lakes and flows downhill through gravity. It passes through an intricate, hand-carved network of stone canals, tunnels, and wooden gates, winding its way down the steep volcanic slopes to irrigate every single terrace. But this physical flow is entirely directed by water temples and the priests who serve them. In this cooperative system, agriculture and spirituality are completely fused. It is guided by an ancient philosophy known as Tri Hita Karana, which demands absolute harmony between three worlds: the human world, the natural environment, and the spiritual domain. If a single farmer becomes greedy and takes more than their fair share, the entire watershed suffers, pests multiply, and the system collapses. Therefore, cooperation is not just a moral choice, it is a necessity for physical survival. This shared responsibility has preserved the island's emerald green terraces for 10 centuries, creating an environment that is both a monument of human engineering and an act of collective devotion. Once you recognize this connection, you begin to realize that nothing on this island is placed at random. Every morning, local residents place small, hand-woven leaf baskets called kanang sari on sidewalks, doorsteps, and the dashboards of motorbikes. These offerings of flowers, rice, and incense are not simple decorations. They are calculated, daily actions designed to maintain a delicate balance between the visible world and the unseen forces that surround us. In this unique setting, good and evil are not viewed as enemies to be defeated. Instead, they are seen as two opposing, necessary forces that must exist together to maintain cosmic order. A philosophy known as Nusa Penida, the terrifying stone guardians with bulging eyes and sharp teeth that stand outside every temple, are not there to frighten you. They are there to acknowledge the darkness, to keep the equilibrium, and to remind us that light cannot exist without shadow. We are about to step past the tourist facade and begin an epic journey deep into this mysterious, hidden world, moving from the misty, floating mountain temples to the roaring waterfalls of the northern jungles, and down to the dangerous, wave-battered southern cliffs. If you are ready for this epic journey, drop a comment below telling me where in the world you are watching from. Hit that like button, subscribe to Earth Discovery, and turn on notifications so you never miss our upcoming videos. Climbing into the heart of Bali, the air grows cold and heavy. Leave the warm, humid southern coast behind. The road snakes upward. It winds through steep, green mountain passes. Slowly, the noise of scooters and beach clubs fades away. It is replaced by the quiet whisper of mountain fog. You stand 1,200 meters high. You are on the edge of a massive, ancient caldera. This is the cool highland region of Bedugul. Clouds drift low here. They seem to touch the dark, still water of Lake Beratan. Right on the water's edge sits a temple that looks like it is floating. This is Pura Ulun Danu Beratan. Built in the 17th century, its dark roofs rise out of the lake. It looks like a silent guardian. Most travelers see this place as a beautiful backdrop for a postcard. They snap their photos and leave. But to the Balinese, this water is not scenery. It is survival. This temple is dedicated to Dewi Danu, the goddess of water and lakes. Lake Beratan is a primary water source for the entire island. The water that pools in this volcanic caldera flows down through the earth. It feeds the rivers below. It irrigates the massive rice fields miles away in the dry southern plains. Without this lake, life on this island would dry up. It would disappear completely. The main temple tower rises in 11 levels. Each level represents a different layer of the spiritual world. It is a physical reminder. What happens on Earth is always tied to the unseen forces above. Look closely at the water lapping against the stone base. You realize how fragile this system really is. It relies entirely on the rain that falls in these highlands. If the rains fail, the fields below starve. Have you ever visited a place where survival felt directly tied to the natural world? How did it change your perspective on how we live today? Tell us in the comments. Just a short drive from the lake, the mountain air grows even colder. Suddenly, two massive stone pillars rise out of the green hills. This is the famous Handara Gate. Standing at around 1,200 meters above sea level, it has become one of the most famous symbols of the island. Millions of travelers recognize its perfect symmetry. They see the dark, carved stone split down the middle. It frames the misty mountains behind it. But the reality of this gate is far different from what social media suggests. This was not built as an ancient entrance to a sacred sanctuary. It was actually constructed in the 20th century. It was built as the entrance to a golf resort. It is a modern construction, designed in a traditional style. Yet, people wait in long lines for hours. They do this just to take a single photo here. Why are we so obsessed with capturing these perfect, symmetrical images? Do you think social media has made us appreciate travel more? Or has it turned sacred traditions into simple backdrops? Let us know what you think below. Despite its modern origins, the gate still carries a deep cultural meaning. In Balinese architecture, a split gate is called a candi bentar. It represents the cosmic mountain split into two equal halves. It symbolizes the delicate balance between the left and right. It represents the light and dark forces of the universe. Even if you are entering a golf course, you step through a physical representation of cosmic balance. And as you continue down the road, the scenery shifts. The manicured grass disappears. It is replaced by the raw, untamed power of the jungle. To reach the northern slopes is to enter a world ruled by water. Here, the terrain drops off sharply into deep, hidden canyons. Reaching the Banyumala twin waterfalls requires a physical effort. You must climb down a steep, slippery dirt path through thick forest. The air gets increasingly humid. The sound of rushing water grows louder with every step. And then, the trees part. Two clear streams of water plunge 35 meters down a vertical cliff covered in wild greenery. The water collects in a wide, natural pool below. Unlike the busy beaches of the south, this place feels hidden. The cold, clear water is so clean you can see straight to the bottom. The surrounding cliffs curve inward. They create a natural amphitheater that traps the cold mist. It is a quiet, sacred space. The raw power of nature is on full display. But Banyumala is small compared to the giant that lies further north. Deep inside a remote valley lies Sekumpul Waterfall. This is widely considered the most impressive cascade on the entire island. As you stand on the viewpoint above, you look at multiple separate waterfalls. They plunge over 80 meters down a massive, jungle-choked cliff. The sheer scale is dizzying. During the rainy season, the volume of water is immense. It turns the entire canyon into a roaring wall of water. The wind generated by the falling water is incredibly strong. It blows mist hundreds of meters away. It coats everything in wetness. It is a reminder of how small we are compared to the forces of the earth. In contrast, nearby Leke Leke waterfall does not rely on raw power. The walk down is short but deep. It leads you across small bamboo bridges. It takes you into a narrow stone cleft. A single, thin stream of water drops 30 meters straight down into a shallow pool. What makes this place special is its shape. The rock walls curve inward like a secret tunnel. This keeps out the sun. The air is silent, except for the steady, rhythmic splash of the water. It feels like standing inside a natural cathedral. It is a space designed for stillness. But as you leave these dark canyons behind, the wild water is tamed once again. The natural forest opens up. It reveals an environment that stretches as far as the eye can see. From a high vantage point, it looks like a giant green staircase. These are the Jatiluwih rice terraces. Covering over 1,500 acres of central Bali, they are some of the largest terraces on the island. This is a living monument to human survival. Unlike the smaller tourist spots, Jatiluwih is not a show. It is an active agricultural site. Farmers spend their days wading through thick mud. They maintain the thin mud walls and manage the water levels by hand. It is an exhausting, back-breaking process. It has remained unchanged for over 10 centuries. Water flows smoothly from one terrace level down to the next. It passes through small, neat bamboo pipes. It is a perfect closed-loop system. The tourism revenue generated here is reinvested directly back into the community. It helps fund organic fertilizers and sacred ceremonies for the farmers. This ensures that the ancient Subak system can survive in a rapidly modernizing world. If you look at these hills, you are looking at the true face of the island. It is an environment shaped entirely by cooperation, devotion, and hard physical labor. It is a reminder that beauty is not just something to look at. It is something that must be actively cared for. To escape the noise of Ubud, you must seek higher ground. Just outside the busy town center, the concrete road ends. A narrow path begins. This is the Kampuhan Ridge Walk. For 2 kilometers, a paved stone walkway cuts along a thin spine of earth. On both sides, the ground drops off sharply into deep, green river valleys. Tall grass grows high here, swaying in the morning breeze. Scattered palm trees break the horizon. In the early morning, this ridge is quiet. Cool mountain air sits in the valleys below. The sun rises slow, casting a soft, golden glow across the grass. The shops, the scooters, and the traffic fade away. They are replaced by the sound of the wind. You hear the faint, rushing water of the river far below. It is a simple walk. There are no massive temples here. There are no dramatic stone carvings. But that is exactly why it is powerful. It acts as a bridge. It takes you from the modern, chaotic world of Ubud into a space that moves at a different, slower speed. Have you ever found a place in a busy city that made you completely forget where you were? Tell us about your secret spots in the comments. But as you follow the paths back down toward Ubud, that quiet stillness vanishes. The open ridge disappears. It is replaced by a dense, steep green world, where human hands have carved the earth into sharp, dramatic angles. These are the Tagalalang rice terraces. Unlike the massive, sweeping valleys of Jatiluwih, the terraces here are tight. They are layered closely on top of each other, hugging the steep sides of a narrow gorge. The paths winding between these levels are incredibly thin. Sometimes, they are barely wide enough for a single person to pass. Mud walls crumble underfoot. Sharp drops on either side demand your absolute attention. One wrong step means sliding down into the thick, wet mud below. This is one of the most photographed places on Earth. From certain angles at the top of the gorge, the steps seem to fold into themselves. They create a beautiful geometric pattern of bright green. But this visual perfection hides a brutal, physical reality. Climbing up and down these steep mud stairs under the hot midday sun is exhausting. Your muscles burn. The air is thick and heavy with humidity. Yet, for the local farmers, this punishing climb is not a scenic walk. It is their daily reality. They carry heavy bamboo baskets balanced across their shoulders. They step carefully along the crumbling edges, maintaining the water channels. It makes you wonder, do we only find these places beautiful because we get to look at them from a safe distance? If you had to work these fields every single day under a burning sun just to survive, would you still see the magic? Share your thoughts below. And just minutes away from this highly structured, controlled environment, human authority completely breaks down. The neat rows of rice disappear. They are replaced by a dark canopy of ancient trees, where a different kind of society makes the rules. This is the Sacred Monkey Forest Sanctuary. Spanning over 30 acres of dense jungle, this protected forest is home to more than 1,000 long-tailed macaques. At first, the scene feels peaceful. Soft, green light filters through the thick canopy above. The monkeys sit quietly on stone walls, grooming each other and playing in the dirt. But do not let this calm fool you. These animals are highly intelligent, and they are completely used to humans. They watch you, they study your movements. The moment you let your guard down, they strike. A loose pair of sunglasses, a water bottle, a phone, or a small snack will be gone in a split second. If you try to fight back, they will show their sharp fangs. Here, you are a guest in their territory, and they enforce their rules with quiet, intimidating confidence. But the monkeys are only part of the mystery. As you walk deeper into the forest, the trees grow thicker. Massive, snake-like roots of banyan trees wrap around crumbling stone structures. Stone steps lead you down into dark, damp ravines. Here, you discover ancient temple ruins dating back to the 14th century. Moss covers the stone carvings. Fierce monkey statues blend in with the living animals. It feels like a space suspended between worlds, where nature is slowly, systematically reclaiming what humans built. It is a powerful reminder. No matter how much we try to control the world around us, nature always wins in the end. This ancient, raw energy becomes even more intense as you journey south, leaving the trees behind to step into the dark belly of the earth. This is Goa Gaja, the elephant cave. Built in the 9th century, this sacred site sits in a cool, quiet valley. The entrance to the cave is a striking work of art. A giant, menacing face is carved directly into the living rock cliff. Its wide-open mouth forms the doorway. As you step inside, it feels as though you are being swallowed alive by a stone monster. The air inside the cave is cool, dark, and heavy with the smell of old stone and burning incense. The cavern is small, stretching only a few meters deep. It is carved in the shape of a T. Inside the dark niches, you find ancient stone statues of Hindu deities and Buddhist symbols. It is a rare place where these two great spiritual paths exist together in absolute peace. But the true power of this site lies just outside the cave's mouth. Walk down the stone steps. You find a large, open courtyard. Here, stone fountains line a deep bathing pool. Clear spring water flows continuously from the hands of stone water nymphs, pouring into the pools below. For over 1,000 years, people have come to this exact spot to wash away their burdens, using the water to purify both body and mind. And if you travel just a short distance north, you will find this ancient purification ritual alive, active, and moving in a powerful, unbroken rhythm. This is Tirta Impel, the sacred water temple. Dating back to the 10th century, this is one of the most important spiritual sanctuaries on the island. It sits near the village of Tampak Siring, built around a powerful, natural underground spring. The heart of the temple is a series of large, stone pools filled with crystal clear water. Water flows constantly through 30 hand-carved stone spouts. Devotees and travelers from all over the world stand in the cold, chest-deep water. They form a quiet, orderly line. They move slowly from one fountain to the next, bowing their heads under the heavy stream of water. But there is a strict, sacred order here. Each stone spout has a specific spiritual purpose. One is for purifying the mind. Another is for curing physical illness. Some offer blessings for a new life. But a few spouts are avoided entirely, reserved strictly for funerary rites and the dead. The locals know this sequence by heart, passing the knowledge down through generations. As you watch people stand in the water, you notice a complete shift in the environment. There is no rushing. There is no loud talking. The busy, modern world outside simply ceases to exist. There is only the cold water, the wet stone, and the quiet splash of the fountains. If you stood before these sacred spouts today, what is the one worry, fear, or burden you would want to wash away? Let us know in the comments below. The spring water that feeds these pools does not stay still. It overflows, rushing out of the temple walls and gathering speed. It carves its way through the earth, transforming from a quiet, sacred stream into a roaring force of nature. This is Tegenungen Waterfall. Unlike the hidden mountain falls of the north, Tegenungen is wide, open, and intensely powerful. It does not hide in a narrow jungle crevice. A steep flight of stone steps leads you straight down into a wide valley. Here, the sun beats down, reflecting off the rushing water. The river drops 25 meters over a black volcanic cliff, slamming into a deep pool below. The sheer volume of water is incredible. It creates a heavy, blinding mist that fills the air. The roar of the falls is deafening, shaking the ground beneath your feet. The closer you get, the harder it is to breathe as the cold spray coats your skin. It is a dramatic, raw display of the island's water cycle. The same water that was blessed in the mountain temples is now a wild, untamed beast, rushing toward the ocean. It is a reminder of the constant change that defines this place. Nothing stays still. Everything is in motion. But this roaring river is only a small hint of the massive volcanic forces that created this island in the first place. To see where this power truly begins, we must climb even higher, traveling past the water and into the barren, burning heart of the active earth. The fertile green of the lowlands is born from a dark, sleeping giant. To find the source of the island's life, you must travel to the edge. Snaking up through the cold mountain air, you arrive at Kintamani. Here, the ground drops away into a massive volcanic crater. This caldera stretches 13 kilometers across. It is a vast, barren depression carved by ancient, catastrophic explosions. Below you sits a dark lake, curving along the base of active peaks. Small villages cling to the steep volcanic slopes. Crops grow in the dark, ash-rich soil. It is a striking contrast. Life continues directly inside a zone of active destruction. People build homes, grow food, and raise families on the slopes of a volcano that could erupt at any moment. This is not avoidance. It is adaptation. The locals do not fear the mountain. They respect it. They recognize that the very soil feeding their children was once molten rock that destroyed their ancestors' homes. To truly feel this subterranean power, you cannot just look from a distance. You must climb into its heart. The journey begins in the absolute darkness of 2 in the morning. While the rest of the island sleeps, hundreds of travelers gather at the base of Mount Batur. They carry nothing but small flashlights and headlamps. The trail starts under a canopy of dark trees, but soon the vegetation thins. You step onto the open slopes. The ground beneath your feet changes. It is no longer dirt, it is loose, black volcanic gravel. With every step upward, the gravel slides. For every 2 steps forward, you slip 1 step back. Your calves burn in the cold night air. The climb is a relentless, steep incline. It lasts for 2 exhausting hours. There are no signs. There are no handrails. There is only the thin beam of your flashlight, illuminating the heels of the hiker in front of you. But as you reach the summit at 1,717 meters, the struggle vanishes. The sky slowly turns from deep black to bruised purple, then to brilliant orange. The massive caldera reveals itself below. You see the dark lake, the silent villages, and the distant, jagged peaks of neighboring mountains rising through the clouds. But the most unsettling part of the summit is not the view. It is the heat. Just inches from the trail, hot steam escapes from narrow cracks in the dark rock. The ground is warm to the touch. Local guides place raw eggs wrapped in foil directly into these volcanic vents. Within minutes, the steam cooks them completely. It is a quiet, subtle reminder. This mountain is not a monument of the past. It is alive. It is breathing. Have you ever stood on an active volcano and felt the heat of the earth rising beneath your feet? How did it feel to realize the ground is not as stable as we think? Tell us in the comments. But Batur is only a minor peak. Standing behind it, dominating the entire eastern horizon, is the sacred king of the island. This is Mount Agung, rising nearly 3,000 meters into the sky. It is the highest point in Bali. On clear days, its perfect, massive cone appears above the clouds, visible from almost anywhere on the island. To the Balinese, this is not just a mountain, it is the spiritual center of the universe. It is the home of the gods. Climbing to the summit of Agung is a different beast entirely. It is a grueling 6 to 8 hour struggle. You face freezing winds, thin air, and steep, vertical rock faces with extreme drops on either side. The conditions shift rapidly from sweltering humidity to bone-chilling cold. It is a physical test that breaks many who attempt it. Yet, you do not need to stand on the peak to feel its spiritual weight. High on its active slopes, sitting 3,000 feet above sea level, is the mother temple of the island. This is Besakih Temple. It is not a single building. It is a massive complex of over 80 individual shrines, temples, and stepped courtyards. The structures climb up the volcanic slope in grand, stone terraces, aligned directly with the sacred summit above. The dark, thatched roofs of the shrines rise like black fingers pointing toward the sky. In 1963, Mount Agung erupted violently. It was a catastrophic event. Rivers of molten lava and burning ash rushed down the mountain, wiping out entire villages and killing thousands of people. The lava flowed directly toward Besakih Temple. The world braced for the destruction of the island's most sacred site. But then, a miracle occurred. The rivers of molten rock split. They flowed around the high stone walls of the temple complex, leaving the structures virtually untouched. To the local people, this was not a geographic fluke. It was a direct, undeniable sign from the gods. It proved that the spiritual balance of the island had protected its sacred heart. Leaving the active volcanic slopes behind, you travel down into the quiet eastern hills. Here, the raw power of the fire turns into a peaceful, green rhythm. This is Sideman Valley. Located about 40 kilometers from the busy streets of Ubud, this valley feels like a step back in time. There are no mass tourist attractions here. There are no noisy beach clubs. Instead, wide, quiet valleys stretch out to the horizon. Traditional houses sit nestled among coconut palms. Farmers guide water into their small, terraced fields using simple wooden tools. The pace of life here is defined entirely by the seasons, the sun, and the rain. It is a slow, predictable movement that has remained unchanged for centuries. But even in this quiet sanctuary, the modern world's obsession with visual perfection has created a strange, unsettling paradox. High on the mountain ridge sits Lempuyong Temple. It is home to the famous Gate of Heaven. Two tall, beautifully carved stone pillars stand on either side of an open doorway, framing a perfect view of Mount Agung in the background. On social media, you see images of travelers standing between these pillars, their reflection mirrored perfectly in a still, glassy lake in front of the gate. It looks like a portal to another world. But when you arrive, you find a different reality. There is no lake. There is no water. The ground in front of the gate is dry concrete. The famous reflection is a simple illusion. A local photographer sits on a plastic stool, holding a small, polished mirror directly beneath a smartphone camera lens. For a small fee, they take your photo, creating the perfect digital lie. Travelers wait in line for up to 5 hours, under a hot sun, just to capture a picture of a lake that does not exist. It is a fascinating, modern contradiction. We travel thousands of miles to find authentic connection, yet we queue for hours to buy a manufactured illusion. Why do you think we are so eager to capture a perfect image rather than simply experiencing the raw reality of a place? Would you wait 5 hours for a fake photo? Or would you rather find a quiet, real corner of the island? Share your honest thoughts in the comments. The path down from the mountains leads us away from the stone gates. It takes us toward the eastern coast, where the water and the earth meet in a different, silent beauty. Leaving the active volcanoes behind, the earth slopes gently toward the open sea. In these lower coastal zones, the violent heat of the mountains is replaced by a different, softer rhythm. On the quiet eastern edge of the island, water is shaped not by nature, but by the hands of kings. This is Taman Ujung Water Palace. Built in the early 20th century by the last ruler of Karangasem, this quiet retreat sits directly against the dark coastline. Walking across the wide stone bridges, you immediately feel a sense of calculated order. Large, still pools reflect the columns of the European-style pavilions. Every brick path, every staircase, and every viewpoint was placed to guide how you experience this quiet space. From certain platforms, the surrounding green hills and the deep blue ocean appear together in a single, perfectly balanced frame. It is a peaceful, structured environment. Yet, just outside the palace gates, the coast turns wild, dark, and unpredictable. Further north, the manicured gardens vanish entirely. You arrive at the Amad coast. This is a quiet, 14-kilometer stretch of volcanic shoreline. Most travelers ignore this place. They see the dark, black sand and immediately turn back, seeking the white beaches of the south. But that quick judgment is a massive mistake. Just offshore, the coastal environment completely transforms. Thriving coral reefs sit mere meters below the surface. You do not need expensive boats or heavy diving gear here. You can walk directly off the black sand, step into the water, and find yourself swimming among thousands of colorful fish in seconds. Standing on the dark shore at dusk, looking back toward the land, the massive silhouette of Mount Agung rises directly behind the small fishing boats. It creates a striking contrast between the dark volcanic earth and the endless blue sea. Have you ever found a forgotten spot that most tourists completely ignored? What made it special to you? Tell us in the comments. Traveling southwest, the coast grows increasingly hostile. Here, the ocean battles the land in a constant, violent rhythm. Perched on a jagged rock outcrop just offshore sits Tanah Lot Temple. For most of the day, powerful waves batter the stone, completely cutting it off from the mainland. It looks entirely unreachable, a sacred island floating in a sea of white foam. But as the tide pulls back, a narrow, wet stone path slowly emerges from the water. Devotees and travelers can walk across the slippery rocks to reach the base of the temple. In the dark caves at the bottom of the rock, wild sea snakes rest in the damp crevices. The local priests believe these highly venomous snakes are holy guardians, keeping evil forces away from this sacred boundary. When the sun drops below the horizon, the temple stands as a sharp silhouette against a burning sky. It is a scene of intense, quiet contrast. But the most dramatic coastal drop lies at the southern tip of the island. Here, the flat earth ends abruptly. Massive limestone cliffs drop 70 meters straight down into the crashing surf of the Indian Ocean. Sitting right on the edge of this terrifying drop is Uluwatu Temple. The wind here is constant, loud, and wild. It carries the salty spray of the waves all the way up to the cliffside paths. These narrow paths are patrolled by a unique population of long-tailed macaques. Unlike the relaxed monkeys of Ubud, these animals are highly aggressive. They have learned to target tourists, stealing high-value items like sunglasses, hats, and even smartphones. They will sit on the stone walls, holding your stolen phone hostage until temple staff offer them fruit in exchange. It is a wild, chaotic tax for walking along the edge of the world. Yet, if you follow these vertical cliffs down, you can find small, secret pockets of calm. To reach Padang Padang Beach, you must squeeze through a narrow split in the limestone cliff face. The passage is so tight that travelers must turn sideways to pass through the dark stone. But as you emerge, the tight walls give way to a beautiful, compact cove surrounded by high cliffs. The waves here roll in with incredible shape, attracting experienced surfers from all over the world. But this wild isolation is slowly being reshaped by massive modern engineering. At Melasti Beach, a winding road has been cut directly through 100 meters of solid white limestone cliffs. Driving down, you are surrounded by giant, vertical walls of pale stone. It feels like descending into a massive, artificial canyon. At the bottom, the brilliant white sand and calm, turquoise water create a stunning scene. This beach is still used for traditional purification ceremonies, keeping its spiritual connection alive despite the surrounding concrete. But the most extreme coastal shapes require leaving the main island behind. A short boat ride across the deep water brings you to the island of Nusa Penida. Here, the cliffs are gargantuan, shaped by millions of years of crashing ocean currents. This is Kelingking Beach. From the high viewpoint, the green cliff curves outward, forming the shape of a massive stone T-Rex head. Below, the white sand looks incredibly peaceful, but reaching it is a dangerous, vertical challenge. The path down is a steep, 400-meter scramble along the narrow spine of the cliff. The trail is uneven, hot, and secured only by basic bamboo railings. It is a grueling, terrifying climb. Most visitors stay at the top, as the powerful currents and massive shore break below make swimming highly dangerous. Nearby, Diamond Beach offers a similar, dizzying descent. A narrow staircase, cut directly into the white limestone cliff, leads you down 500 feet. At the bottom, you find yourself surrounded by towering stone spires rising like sharp diamonds from the turquoise surf. It is a place of raw, wild geometry. To find true, undisturbed stillness, you must escape these famous sites entirely. You must travel to the most northern edge of the region. 10 kilometers off the northwest coast sits Menjangan Island. This is a protected national park, with no resorts, no roads, and no crowds. Here, the focus shifts entirely underwater. Coral walls drop vertically into the deep sea, just yards from the quiet shore. Schools of colorful fish move in dense, quiet clouds. Sea turtles and reef sharks swim slowly through the crystal-clear water, completely undisturbed by humans. Standing on the empty shore, the air is silent. The water is still. It is a place that feels completely untouched by the noise of the modern world. We began this journey looking for a tropical paradise. But standing on this quiet shore, you realize the truth. Bali is not a postcard. It is not a collection of beach clubs, luxury resorts, or fake photo spots. It is a beautifully decorated lie. Underneath the luxury, there is a volatile, dangerous volcano. Underneath the green fields, there is an ancient system of cooperative survival. It is an island that sits on an invisible biological edge, balanced between life and death, light and dark. The magic of this place is not that it is perfect. The magic is that it survives, day after day, in beautiful, volatile equilibrium. It is a living system that demands we stop looking at the surface and start looking at what lies beneath.